By this video, we make introduction how to calibrate the cutter's working depth. Because on our machine we have different cutters. First one is oscillating cutter, second one is the drawback cutter, the third one is a punch drill. So after we change, for example, the first cutter, after we install different length cutter, we need to calibrate the working depth. So this video we introduce how to do it. Okay. Firstly, we will select the second page. Okay, adjust, press this one, and we will set up the working depth by these buttons. I will make a brief introduction for the buttons. By the up and down, we can lift up the cutter or drop down the cutter. Okay. This is the step distance. We can change it. So 1 millimeter, when we press the button, it will lift 1 millimeter. If we set up 5 millimeter, when we press the button, it will lift 5 millimeter. Okay. Also, we have smaller one. Yeah. This is the OK button. After we get the correct depth, we just press this button. It's OK. If we want to cancel it, press this button. Okay. For this one, we must make careful. But when we press this button, the cutter will drop down completely. So before we cannot make sure the working depth, this working depth is correct or not, we don't prohibit press this button. Otherwise, it will damage the tabletop or break the nail. Okay. And these two buttons to make a test cutting by cut rectangular and see the working depth is okay or not. Okay. Also, we can see here we have minus and plus. By these two buttons, we will make small increase or decrease to the current working depth. For example, during the program cutting, we found the working depth cannot cut through the film or material, so we can increase by this button. For example, I want to increase 0.10 millimeter. I just press this one. For example, here is 3. Okay, I just press this one. You see, it will increase a little. So if you think it's too deep, you can minus it. Yeah. Okay. Now we make showing. Firstly, this distance, the tabletop is big distance, so I change a bigger one by this and press the down button. When the tip near to the tabletop, we can change it to a smaller one. So we can change it into a smaller one, and we can check here. We also need to rotate this one to find the lowest place. For example, you see here, when I rotate this one, the cutter piece will up and down. So we need to let the tip at the lowest place right now. So we can see here it still has 2 or 3 millimeter, right? So we can let it down more. I will change into 1 millimeter. I will let it come down again. Yeah. So we can see the cutter, the tip is touch the tabletop, then it will be okay. But right now we see our machine doesn't make a suction, vacuum suction. So we can let the tip to cut through a little, like 0.5 millimeter or 1 millimeter. Okay. So I can increase. Okay, increase more. Okay. check here. So the cutter teeth already touched the tabletop. Then it is okay. We can press this button. Okay. Press this button. Press OK button. Now it will get the working depth to here. Okay. Now we will make a test cutting to see the cutter working depth is okay or not. Okay, we can find the fail. We can put here and press this test button. Now we can check our test cutting. We found it doesn't cut through. That means we need to increase the cutting depth. Okay, so we will make adjustment. We can still go back to adjust, and we can press this button to increase this number. Okay, we can increase maybe 82.50. Okay, we set up 0.10 millimeter. Must change this, change into a smaller one. Press this button. So we can use this steps and make a test again. For this small adjustment, we don't press the OK button again. Please remember, when you press this one, it cancels this. Okay. Yeah. Cutter go to the 0, please. Yeah. And go back here and press this button. Oh, still not big enough. So I think maybe increase 1 millimeter. Yeah, because for our tabletop is 4 millimeter. Okay, increase it again. Come back here and change it to 1 millimeter. Okay. You see? Yes. And make a test again. Yeah. And press adjust. And press this one. This cutting depth is okay. So for this cutting depth is set up well for the first cutter. For the second one, the calibrate method is same. For the punch drill, it's different because our punch drill, the working depth is controlled by the air cylinder. It doesn't by the controller, so we don't need to calibrate on the controller. We will make showing for it again.